Today we are going to discuss another very important topic of atomic spectra, and that is the Zeeman effect. As you all know, when we observe the fine structure of singlet and multiplet spectra, then we find that in singlet spectra we observe transition of single line from one state to other, while in a multiplet or mixed spectra we get multiple lines in that spectrum of the molecule or atom. Here in Zeeman effect, what happens whenever any substance is kept in any magnetic field, means the source of light is kept in magnetic field, then the spectral lines get distributed. The distribution of spectral lines in presence of magnetic field is called as Zeeman effect. So if I want to explain this Zeeman effect in a very simple definition, then the splitting of spectral orbitals, the splitting up of atomic orbitals in presence of magnetic field, external magnetic field, is called as Zeeman effect. Zeeman effect, right? So splitting up of atomic orbitals in presence of external magnetic field is called as Zeeman effect. This Zeeman effect is of two types. Zeeman effect is of two types. That is, one is called as normal Zeeman effect, and the second one is called as anomalous right? Normal Zeeman effect, whenever we observe the fine structure of singlet transitions, singlet or spectra, then they produce normal Zeeman effect. While the fine structure of multiplet spectra in presence of magnetic field, they produce anomalous Zeeman effect. We will discuss it in two parts, that is normal Zeeman effect and anomalous Zeeman effect. Here I am going to explain you the normal Zeeman effect. In case of normal Zeeman effect, as you all know, when an electron revolves around the nucleus like this, if I draw the structure like this is the electron revolving around the nucleus, and this is suppose the center of the electron. As you all know, if we apply a magnetic field along the direction B, along the direction Z, a magnetic field is applied. Since the orbital angular momentum of this electron L is along this direction, it precesses star along this direction like this. This is L, and here in opposite direction its orbital magnetic moment is directed along this direction, that is mu L, right? And from the earlier knowledge we know that mu L upon L is equal to E upon 2m. Mu L upon L is equal to E upon 2m, right? Now since this electron, this orbital angular momentum is precessing about this, so with this precession is called as Larmor precession, and with the frequency which it precesses is called as Larmor frequency. Here mu L upon L is E upon 2m, and L is given as under root of L into L plus 1 into H upon 2 pi, right? L is equal to L into L plus 1 into H upon 2. If the component of this L along this direction is LZ, then the LZ component can be written as equal to LZ is equal to ML into H upon 2 pi. This we came to know from quantum mechanics. Now the angular frequency with which this is revolving can be given as omega is equal to the omega is given as mu L upon L. If this is placed in a magnetic field B, then this will precess about this with the Larmor frequency, and the frequency of that precession omega is given as omega is equal to what? Omega is equal to mu L upon L into B. This I had shown you in the earlier videos. That is omega is equal to mu L upon L into B. As omega is equal to mu L upon L into B, so omega is this much, hence the energy associated with this Larmor precession, that is change in energy delta E, is equal to how much? Omega into Lz, right? This is given as delta E is equal to omega into Lz, right? Equation number 5. Putting the value from equation 4 and mu L upon L from equation 1, what we observe that E omega is into Lz, that comes out to be how much? Mu L upon L into B into Lz, and that comes out to be E upon 2m into B into Lz is how much? ml into h upon 2 pi. So delta E comes out to be how much? So delta E is equal to how much? Delta E is equal to, that comes out to be how much? ml into EH upon 4 pi m into B. This is very important equation number 6. This equation represents the change in energy due to the presence of magnetic field. If you remove the magnetic field, put B is equal to 0, delta E is equal to 0. Means, if I want to know the change in frequency of the light being emitted, then delta nu is equal to delta E upon H. So it will be equal to how much? ml into E into H into B upon 4 pi m into H. H get cancelled. So ultimately, what we observe, that delta nu, the change in frequency, delta nu is equal to, that it comes out to be how much? That comes out to be ml into E into B upon 4 pi m. This is the change in frequency, right? Here, this also processes. So, the change in frequency, equation number 7 is given as ml is equal to EB upon 4 pi m. If nu 0 be the original frequency, nu 0 is the original frequency, then delta nu is equal to, that will depend on the value of ml, right? Suppose here ml is equal to, ml can take values from minus L to plus L, total 2L plus 1 values, right? This ml, magnetic quantum number, orbital magnetic quantum number, can take from values from minus L to plus L, that is 2L plus 1 value. So this delta nu and delta E both will have the 12 plus 1 values depending on the value of ml, right? So you can say that if, for example, for let L is equal to 0, first case, then ml will be equal to how much? ml will be 0. ml will be 0 means delta E is equal to 0 and delta nu is equal to 0. Another is delta L, case first and second case, let L is equal to 1. If L is equal to 1 means now ml will take values from minus 1, 0, plus 1. So delta E or delta nu, delta E is equal to how much? That will be equal to how much? That comes out to be delta ml is 1 is plus 1. So first ml is minus 1. So minus EH upon 4 pi m into B, comma 0, comma EH upon 4 pi m into B, right? This is delta E. So the energy level corresponding to energy level, earlier suppose this was the energy level, this was L is equal to 0 level, and this was L is equal to 1 level. L is equal to 0, L is equal to 1 level, right? Initially they were this. If they have been put in the magnetic field, here B is 0, here B is 0. So B is, here B is 0, magnetic field is 0. So this and this, if यहाँ पर B की वैल्यू लेट B is equal to B, magnetic field in presence of magnetic field, or magnetic field present, then what will happen? This will make no effect. At L is equal to 0, delta E is equal to 0, so there will be no effect. But this will be divided into one single, the other like this. That is in 3 states. That is, one will be ML is equal to -1, ML is equal to 0, and ML is equal to +1. Right? So the transition, now the transition will take place as यहाँ पर single, here we are getting single line, single transition from L is equal to 1 to L is equal to 0. Now here what will happen? We are getting transitions, here ML is equal to 0, right? So we are here, we are getting this L is equal to 1 means P state, and this L is equal to means S state, P state and S state, right? So here we are getting one line from this, the other line from this, and the third one line from this, right? Means one is with a change in frequency -1, right? So delta nu, here it is smaller, that is delta, if I say this is nu1, this will be no change in frequency, that is nu2, and this will be increased frequency, where you can say nu1 will be equal to how much? Nu0 was the original frequency with which light was coming. So nu1 is equal to nu0 minus delta. Nu1 is equal to nu0 minus delta nu, and delta nu is equal to how much? Nu0 minus EH upon E upon 4 pi m into B. Similarly, this is nu1. Nu2 is equal to nu0 plus E upon 4 pi m into B. These are the two frequencies obtained, right? Thus, we get 3 lines instead of one line of nu0. We are getting 3 lines. That is, the spectral lines have been distributed. One spectrum line or orbit has been one line has been distributed into 3 lines in presence of magnetic field. Obviously, if B is equal to 0, then nu1 is equal to nu0, nu2 is equal to also nu0. This splitting of the spectral lines due to the presence of magnetic field is called as Zeeman effect, and it is known as normal Zeeman effect. Now, how do we observe it experimentally? For experimental observation, what we do for experimental observation, so we are getting 3 lines, that is nu1 is equal to nu0 minus E upon 4 pi m into B, nu0 and nu2 is equal to nu0 plus EB upon 4 pi m, right? These are the 3 frequencies we are getting. What we do, we put a magnet like this, yeah. Here we put a hole inside the magnet. Suppose this is N, this is S. So we put the hole in that magnet, and This is the light source whose spectra is to be observed. This is put inside the pole pieces of a magnet. Now you can observe in two different directions. One direction is along the magnetic field direction, the other is along the perpendicular to the magnetic field direction. Means you can observe it perpendicular to the magnetic field direction as well as along the magnetic field direction through this hole also. If you observe it perpendicular to the magnetic field, then what will you observe? You will observe three lines, 1, 2 and 3. This is nu1, this is nu2 and this is nu0. This is your perpendicular to field. And if you observe parallel to the field, then parallel to field, you will observe only nu1 and nu2, right? The two. Here, perpendicular to the field means the two are, these two, nu1 and nu2, they are plane polarized, whose plane of vibrations are perpendicular to the magnetic field, and nu0 is the plane of vibration along the magnetic field. Here again, if you observe along the magnetic field, then the perpendicular component will be observed while this component will not be observed. This is called as transverse Zeeman effect and this is called as longitudinal Zeeman effect.